Hey everyone, welcome to my channel. So today we are going to learn chapter number 13, Light. This is the new edition of Science Class 8. But in old book, the Light chapter is 16th with page number 199. As I'm having the PDF of new book, it is chapter number 13. So let us get started with our new chapter, Light. So what is light exactly? What is it? Light is nothing but a form of energy. Light is nothing but a form of energy which enables us to see the objects. Isn't it? Alright. It's the energy which enables us to see the objects. Okay. The sense of sight is one of the most important senses. Of course, the sense of sight is one of the most important senses. Through it, we see mountains, rivers, trees, plants, chairs, people, and so many other things around us. We also see clouds, rainbows, birds flying in the sky. At night, we see the moon and stars. We are able to see the words, sentences printed on this page. How is seeing made possible? Of course, light is the answer. But is it necessary that if you want to see object, light is only needed? No. We should have a proper eyesight as well. Therefore, how is seeing made possible? Due to our eyes and light. What makes things visible? So, what makes things visible to us? Of course, that is light. Have you ever thought how we see various objects? You may say that I see the object, but can we see an object in the dark? Can we see? It means that eyes alone cannot see any object. It is only when light comes in an object. Therefore, they are proportional to each other. The light may have been emitted by object or may have been reflected by it, of course. So they both are proportional to each other. So let us learn about the laws of reflection. So laws of reflection is one of the important topic which we have to learn. It is very important topic, okay? So this is one particular activity. You may just read it. Okay. After striking the mirror, the ray of light is reflected in another direction. The light ray which strikes any surface is called incident ray. The ray that comes back from the surface after reflection is known as reflected ray. So what is reflected ray? What is incident ray? Let us understand. For example, this is a mirror. This one is mirror. And one ray is coming like this. And it will reflect like back. Okay, it will reflect. So this is this ray. This ray is known as incident ray. And this ray is known as reflected ray. And the middle one, this type of thing is known as normal. This is just the basic thing which you need to understand. Alright. So a ray of light is an idealization. Oops, sorry for the inconvenience. The ray of light is an idealization. In reality, we have a narrow beam of light, which is made up of several rays. For simplicity, we use the term ray for a narrow beam of light. As we all know, as we have heard multiple times, light is made up of several colors, 7 colors. Light is made up of 7 colors. But though we wonder, 7 colors are there and we are able to see the white light. The white light is composed of 7 colors. Alright. So the ray, this is important. You can just highlight this particular box, this box. Draw lines showing the opposite, draw lines showing the opposite of plane mirror, the incident ray and the reflected ray on the paper with the help of your friends. Remove the mirror and comb. Now draw a line making an angle of 90 degrees in the line representing the mirror at the point where the incident ray strikes the mirror. This line is known as normal to the reflecting surface. So what is normal? You just they have just given one activity. You have to take one plane mirror and just draw two rays, one over here, one coming like this, and the perpendicular line is nothing but this perpendicular line is nothing but a normal. Okay, between the normal and incident ray is called an angle of incidence. The angle between normal and incident ray is known as angle of incidence. The angle between normal and reflected ray is known as angle of reflection. Measure the angle of incident ray and the angle of reflection. Repeat the activity several times by changing the angle of incidence. So here they have shown one picture. Okay, this picture. And it gives us enough idea. It gives us enough idea about it. This is a plane mirror. This is reflected ray. This ray is hitting over here. Incident ray, reflected ray, and the normal one. Okay. So next, always remember two things. Angle of reflection and angle of incidence are always same. If the angle of angle of incidence is 60 degree, angle of reflection will be also 60 degree only. Do you see any relation between the angle of incidence and the angle of reflection? Are they approximately equal? If the experiment is carried out carefully, it is seen that the angle of incidence is always equal to angle of reflection. So here one of the law, it is stating one of the law. The angle of incidence is always equal to the angle of reflection, and this is one of the law of reflection. This is one of the law of reflection. Okay, you can just highlight this point. Next, what would happen if I threw the light and mirror along with normal? So this Bujfu is asking us question. So here is one activity once again, and the answer is written over here in this para. When the whole sheet of paper is spread on the table, it represents one plane. The incident ray, the normal ray at the point of incident, and the reflected ray are at the same plane. Okay guys, when you bend a paper, you create a plane different from plane in which the incident ray and the normal ray lie. Then you do not see the reflected ray. What does it indicate? It indicates that the incident ray, the normal ray at the same point. Okay, now this is the another law of reflection. Now what is it? What is the law? The incident ray, the normal at the point of incident, and the reflected ray all lie on the same plane. These all lie on the same plane. It is the second law of reflection, and this law of reflection is very, very, very crucial. So next thing, with sun as the source of light instead of torch, you can use the sun as the source of light. These activities can also be performed by making use of racetrack apertures available in kit prepared by NCERT. Not necessary. Now, Bojo remembered in class 7 he had studied some features of image of an object formed by a plane mirror. Paheli asked him to recall those features. Was the image erect or upside down? Erect means up. Erect means seedha like this. Upside down we know. Was it of the same size as the object? So they are recalling one of the activity present which is done in class 7. So I don't know the activity because I wasn't having NCERT book when I was in 7. So I can't recall that activity right now. Let us move to the another point. This point is again crucial for us. Each and every point is crucial. You may recall that in an image formed by plane mirror, the left of the object appears in the right and the right appears on the left. This is what known as lateral inversion. Of course, lateral inversion we have studied. Formed by plane mirror, left of the object appears in right and right appears on the left. This is what known as the lateral inversion. Okay. Regular and diffused reflection. So the name itself suggests what it is trying to convey. When all the parallel ray reflect from a rough surface or irregular surface are not parallel, the reflection is known as diffused or irregular reflection. Remember that the diffused reflection is not due to the failure of laws of reflection. It is caused by the irregularities in the reflecting surface like that of a cardboard. On the other hand, reflection from a smooth surface like that of a mirror is called regular reflection. So here is one image. In this image they have stated about what? Regular reflection. Okay, this is the regular reflection. Now why? Because here you can see that whichever the rays are striking over here, they are reflecting in the same manner, very straight, right? They are reflecting in a same manner. Even the surface is very much smooth and regular. Therefore, the light rays are also smooth and regular. And diffused reflection, diffused over here you can see the surface is not even. As the surface is uneven, therefore the rays are also reflecting towards any direction according to the reflecting point. Now one question arises. As I told you, the angle of incidence and angle of reflection is same. So in the diffused reflection, whenever one ray is reflecting back, so let's suppose this ray is reflecting over here. So will angle of incidence and angle of reflection will be different? No. Angle of incidence and reflection will be same. But now this ray is having different case. This ray is having different case. Even this is having different case. This is having different case because the surface is more, here less, here above side, down side. So according to the surfaces, the things take place. Do we see all objects due to reflected light? Give me the answer. Do we say all objects due to reflected light? Nearly everything you see around is due to reflected light. Moon, for example, receives the light from sun and reflects it. That is how we see the moon, the objects which shine in the light at other objects called illuminated objects. Can you name such other objects? There are other objects which give their own light, such as sun, fire flame of candle and electric lamp. Their light falls on our eyes. That is how we see them. So The objects which emit their own light are known as luminous objects. Objects having their own light are known as luminous object. Of course, we know that. I have a question. So, he is having a question. Sorry. Can the reflected rays be further reflected if incident on another mirror? Yeah. Reflected ray can be reflected further. So, this is what we have to read now. Activity. Reflected light can be reflected again. Recall the last time you visited a hairdresser. She or he makes you sit in front of a mirror. After your haircut is complete, she holds the mirror behind you to show you now the hair has been cut. How the hair has been cut. Do you know how you could see the hair at the back? Of course, the reflected ray is being reflected again. This you're sitting, now I will tell you the phenomena. You're sitting over here, incident falls here and it reflects to your eye. Same happens now. Then in same way it is reflected back, and then it is reflected on the mirror, and then you are able to see it. It is quite complex, but yeah, it's easy to understand. Pahelli recalls having constructed a periscope as an extended activity in class 6. The periscope makes use of two plane mirrors. Okay, two plane mirrors are being used over here. Yeah, it is important. The periscope has been made the use of two plane mirrors. Can you explain how reflection from two mirrors enables you to see the objects which are not visible directly? Periscopes are used in submarines, tanks, and also by soldiers in bunkers to see the outside. Basically, periscope is what? The two mirrors are used, and according to that two mirrors, the reflected ray is reflected again and again. Multiple images form. This people are able to see them. Multiple image. You are aware that a plane mirror forms only a single image of an object. What happens if two plane mirrors are used in combination? So let us see. Here you can see multiple images because two mirrors are used. This mirror 1, mirror 2, reflected here, then here, then this one is taking this picture. This picture is taken by this mirror. Thus you are able to see these many things. Your kaleidoscope is ready. Okay. When you peep through the hole, you will be able to see a variety of patterns in the tube. An interesting feature of kaleidoscope is that you will never see the same pattern again and again. Designers of wallpapers and fabrics and artists often use kaleidoscope to get ideas for new patterns. To make your new toy attractive, you can wrap the kaleidoscope in a colored paper. So they were just telling us about the kaleidoscope. Sunlight is a white light or a colored light. So everyone knows sunlight is in which color? Sunlight is in which color? Yes, sunlight is in white color, white. It is in white color. But often we color it as a yellow and all. It is because of the wavelength. So in class 7, you learn that the sunlight is referred to us as a white light. You also learn that it consists of 7 colors. Here is another activity 13.7 showing us the light consists of several colors. Yeah, of course it consists of several colors, and we are knowing which colors are that. Okay. So yeah. What is inside our eye? Eye is a crucial organ, sense organ of our body. What is inside our eye? Let us identify what is it. We see things only when light is coming from them enters our eye. Eye is one of the most important sense organ. It is therefore important to understand the structure and the working of our eye. The eye, now this is important thing. Kindly listen very carefully, guys. Very carefully. The eye has a roughly spherical shape. 1 point. The outer coat of an eye is white in color. It is tough so that it can protect the interior of eye from accident. Its transparent front part is called cornea. The transparent front part is called cornea. Cornea is totally transparent fluid, but we are not able to see it. It is just in front of the sclera, iris and pupil. Okay. Behind the cornea, we find a dark muscular structure. Behind the cornea, we find a dark muscular structure called iris. In the iris, there is a small opening called pupil. The size of pupil is controlled by iris. So this is important definition. What was it? The size of pupil is controlled by iris. The size of pupil is controlled by iris. Now what is exactly there? This is a cornea. Behind cornea there is iris, which is present in different colors. Let's say iris is mostly found in many colors. Even blue is one of the famous color. Okay, this is the iris, let's say, and in iris there is a let us color the iris with blue only, blue iris. And in iris there is a small opening. There is a very small opening known as pupil. Okay, this is our eye and this is pupil. This is iris. This transparent layer is cornea. The size of a pupil is controlled by iris. The iris is the part of eye which gives its distinctive color. When we say that a person has green eyes, we refer actually the color of iris. The iris controls the amount of light entering into the eye. So here you can see, here it is given, this is iris. This black color is pupil. Pupil, iris, and this white color is sclera. I'm not able to write. Alright. So, next. Behind the pupil of the eye is the lens, which is thicker in the center. What kind of lens is thicker in the center? Of course, convex lens. It is this type of lens. It is thicker in center, bit thicker, thick in the center, and that is convex lens. What you have learnt about lenses? In class 7, the lens focuses the light on back of the eye. What happens? The lens focuses the eye on the back side of the eye on a layer called retina. The retina consists of several nerve cells. Sensations felt by nerve cells are transmitted to brain through the optic nerve. There are two kinds of cells. So what happens? As I told you, this is one eye and this is eye. Okay, whenever the light is entering, it is going over here and light is focused on retina. Retina is this layer which is present inside the eyeball, and here it senses this light. And retina is contain nerve cell, and that nerve cell carry the sensations to the brain. Nerve cell carry the sensation to the brain. Okay, carry the sensation to the brain. All right. So this carry the sensation to the brain through optic nerve. Optic nerves is here only, and there are two kinds of cells. So what are the two kinds of cells? Cones. First one is cones. They are sensitive to bright light. Okay, they are sensitive to bright light. Now, whenever bright light enters the eye, at that time we understand, okay, the brightness of this particular object is high because of this cones, whatever the pronunciation is. And now the next thing is what? Rods, which are sensitive to dim light. Cones sense the color. At the junction, okay, this is something another point. At the junction of optic nerve and the retina, there is no sensory cell. No vision is possible at this spot. This is what known as blind spot. Blind spot. So, understand what is cones and rods. Cones are brightness sensitive, senses bright light. Rods are sensitive to dim light, so they get activated, and they enlarge the pupil. And this cones, what they do, they sense the color. Like we are able to identify the different shades of color. Like here you can see various shades of this color, right? Hope you are able to see so many shades of color. Why are we able to identify them? Why are we able to identify this color? Because of our cones. Cones get activated. Okay. So next thing. Blind spot is where the junction at the junction of the optic nerve and the retina, there is no sensory cell, no vision is possible, known as blind spot. So maybe this one is the blind spot. Junction, right? Junction of retina. Okay. According to me, this is the blind spot somewhere else, because it is a junction of retina and optic nerve, right? Okay. The impression of an image does not vanish immediately from the retina. It persists there for about 1/16th of second. 1/16th. Sorry. The impression of image does not vanish immediately from the retina. It persists there for about 1/16th second. 1/16th of the second. 1/16th of the second means 1/16 of a second. Second means 1 second, right? Of a second. Maybe this thing, or maybe 60 seconds. Okay. So if still image of a moving object are flashed on eye at the rate faster than 16 per second, then eye perceives this object as moving. Okay. If still image of moving object is flashed on eye at the rate of faster than 16 images per second. 16 images per second, then we see like the object is in motion. Object is in motion. Okay. The movies that we see, sorry, I need to magnify it. The movies that we see are actually a number of separate pictures in a proper sequence. They are made into move across the eye usually at the rate of 24 image pictures per second, faster than 16 per second. So we see a moving picture, means 24 pictures per second and faster than 16 per second, of course. Then we are able to see the moving picture. Many of you have seen in YouTube shorts about the flip book. It is very trending nowadays. Flip book. So in that flip book, what they do, they draw multiple images and then they just flip the pages so fastly, and it seems like the person or whichever the character is there, that is dancing. You can search flip book, okay, flip book in YouTube, and it is one of the very good example of this, very good example, flip book. Okay. Nature has provided eyes with eyelids to prevent any object from entering our eyes. Of course, nature has provided eyes with eyelid to prevent any object from entering the eye. Eyelids also shut out light when not required. Eye is such a wonderful instrument that it can clearly see distinct objects as well as objects nearby. Means our eye is very wonderful instrument. It can see any object at any distance, right? We are so glad, we are so fortunate to have it. Okay. The minimum distance at which the eye can see the object distinctively varies with age. The almost comfortable distance at which one can read at the normal eye is 25 centimeter. One should read at 25 centimeter. You can just copy down this. It's very important. Most comfortable distance, right? Okay. Some persons can see the object close to them clearly. Now listen very carefully, guys. Listen very carefully. Some person can see the object close to them clearly, but cannot see distinct objects so clearly. Okay, this is one case. I am marking with different colors so we can easily understand. Some people can see the object which are close to them, but cannot see the object which are far from them. And on the other hand, some person cannot see object nearby clearly, but they can see the distinct object. So long sightedness and short sightedness, myopia and hypermetropia. Hypermetropia is this one, hypermetropia, and this is myopia. So these, with suitable corrective lenses, we can treat these defects of eye. Okay. Sometimes, particularly in old age, eyesight becomes foggy. Foggy means blurry. It is due to the eye lens becoming cloudy. When it happens, persons are said to have cataract. This is what cataract is. Many old people in many I've heard so many cases like people's lens get so cloudy, and something like cloudy sits on deposit, that particular lead deposits on their iris and all, and they are not able to see anything because the pupil is being covered by the foggy layer. That layer, of course, each and every old person get that layer, and that particular defect of vision is known as cataract. First vision we learned till now is cataract only. What is cataract? This question might come in exam. Yeah. So there is a loss of vision, sometimes extremely severe. It is possible to treat this defect. The opaque lens is removed and a new artificial lens is inserted. Modern technology has made this procedure simpler and safer. Maybe in old times they might be applying the lenses of dead persons or people. Okay, we learnt about one defect of vision. Care of eyes. So why should we take care of eyes? Already eyelids are provided to us. it is necessary that you have to take a proper care of your eye. If there is any problem, you should go to an eye specialist and you should have a regular checkup. If advised, then kindly use spectacles. If advised, use spectacles. Too little or too much light is bad for eyes. Insufficient light causes eye strain and headache, and too much light, like powerful like sun insufficient light causes eye strain and headache. Too much light, like that of sun, a powerful lamp or laser torch, can injure the retina. Now let us know this. Do you know? What do I know? So, animals have eyes shaped in different ways. Eyes of a crab are quite small, but they are unable to look all around. So the crab can sense even if enemy approaches from behind. Butterflies have large eyes that seem to be made up of thousands of little eyes. They cannot see only in front and side, but back as well. Means not they cannot see only front and side, but they can see back always also. The night bird owl can see very well in the night, but not during the day. On the other hand, daylight birds like kite and eagle can see well during the day, but not during the night. The owl has a large cornea and large pupil to allow more light in its eye. Also, it has on its hand a retina, a large number of rods and cones, and a large number of rod and few cones. Of course, rod are activate during dim light. Activate during dim light. That's why they are having large number of rods. Okay, they are having what? Large number of rods and very few number of cones. The day birds, on the other hand, have vice versa. That is, cones high and rods less. Okay. Do not look at the sun or powerful light directly. Never rub your eyes. Sorry. Where did this went? Okay. Always read at a normal distance for vision. Do not read by bringing the book too close or too far from your eyes. You have learned about balanced diet in class 6. If food is deficient in components, eyes may also suffer lack of vitamin A and foodstuffs, responsible for many eye troubles. Most common amongst the people is what? Night blindness. One should therefore include what? One should therefore include in diet a component that have vitamin A, raw carrots, broccoli, and green vegetables as such as spinach and cod liver oil, which are rich in vitamin A. Eggs, milk, curd, cheese, butter, fruit such as papaya and mango are also rich in vitamin A. Alright. Visually impaired. So they have suggested that we should have vitamin A in our diet. So visually impaired person can read and write. Alright. That's so good news. Some persons including children can be visually impaired. They have very limited vision to see the things. Okay, so visually impaired means who are not having a good eyesight, or who are not able to see the objects correctly. Some persons cannot see at all since birth. Some persons may lose their eyesight because of any disease or injury. Such person try to identify things by touching and listening to voices more carefully. They develop their other senses more sharply. So these people know the importance of eye. They develop their other senses very sharply. However, additional resources can enable them to develop their capabilities further. Means, for example, if someone is blind, it is not like that person cannot take or gain knowledge. That person can gain knowledge by some aids, even by that which type of system, script, yeah, braille script, non-optical and optical aids. So this is very much important. It is extremely crucial for us. Let us read this first. Okay. Non-optical and optical aids. So what is it? Non-optical and optical aids for visually impaired person. Non-optical aids include visual aids, tactile aids using the sense of touch, auditory aids using the sense of hearing, and the electronic aids. Visual aids can magnify words and can provide suitable intensity of light and material at the proper distances. Now, what this line is trying to convey is, non-optical aid and optical aid means what exactly? Non-optical and optical aid. First of all, aid means what? Aid means help, right? Aid means help. We know aid means help. So non-optical aid is a help for person who are totally blind, and optical aid is for person who is having this defect of vision as cataract, short sightedness, long sightedness, myopia, hypermetropia, and presbyopia. These people means who are having little bit blurry vision. So optical and non-optical, understood? All right. Now, non-optical aid include visual aids. Means non-optical help include some visual help. Visual aid. So visual aid means what? Tactual aid means sense of touch, by touching, like braille script, we have to touch the dots by touching. Auditory aid means using the sense of hearing. Electronic aids. Electronic means for sensors. Electronic aid means sensor, like one stick is there, if any obstacle is between the person, that's the sensor will detect it, and then the buzzer will blow. So electronic aid. Visual aids can magnify words and can provide suitable intensity of light material at the proper distance. This visual aid is for what? For people who are having blurry eyesight, not blind at all. Okay. Next thing. Tactual aid including braille writer, slate, stylus help the visually challenged person in taking notes, reading and writing. Auditory aids include cassettes, tape recorders, talking books, and other such devices. Electronic aids such as talking calculators, computers, also available for performing many computational task. Closed circuit television, also an electronic aid, enlarges the printed material with suitable contrast and illumination. Nowadays, use of audio, CDs and voice boxes with computer are also very helpful for listening to the writings in desired text. So this is what I already learned by watching one video. So this is extremely easy, guys. Just giving the examples of non-optical aids. Optical aids, no optical aids. This optical, as I told you, for the people who are not totally blind, okay. Optical aid include bifocal lenses, contact lenses, tint lenses, magnifiers, and telescopic aids. While the lens combinations are used to rectify visual limitations, telescopic aids are available to view chalkboard and class demonstrations. So they are just telling us about non-optical and optical aids. Non-optical aids like tactile aid, auditory aid, electronic. They have also given example. Tactile means written, braille, and all. We have understood. Just remember the words like auditory, tactile, electronic, and then. And optical, we know that telescopic aids, magnifiers, concave and biconvex lenses, and etc. What is Braille system? So Braille, you people might have heard about Braille already. What is Braille? Braille is nothing but a script which was discovered or invented by this Louis Braille. Not Louis Pasteur, okay? Not Louis Pasteur, Louis Braille. So this is the person, he himself was a visually challenged person. That's why he knew how the people are suffering and all. So Louis Braille, himself a visually challenged person, developed a system for visually challenged person and published it in 1821. Okay, 1821. So look here now, guys. Okay, so the present system was adopted in 1932. Though this Louis Pasteur, published it in 1821, but it was adopted in 1932. There is a Braille code for common languages, mathematics, and scientific notation. Many Indian languages can be read using Braille system. Okay, so Braille system, let us understand about it. Braille system has 63 patterns or characters. Each character represents a letter. Combination of letter is a common word for grammatical signs. Dots are arranged in cells or 2 vertical rows or 3 dots each. So there is a particular pattern which is repeated, like C is written as 2 dots and 4 dashes. So C-A-T, cat. C-A-T, cat. So they are having this type of language. It seems to be so difficult, but yeah, these patterns when embossed on a braille sheet help visually challenged person to recognize words by touching, to make them easier to see, to touch the dots and raise it slightly. Means these are not like, it is not like this one paper is there and just dots are there. No, they are slightly bulged out. Like this is a paper and these are the dots in particular pattern, so that they should understand what is written over here, or what is written on the page. Okay, next, visually impaired people learn the braille system by beginning with letters. Now how do they learn this? Visually impaired people learn the braille system by beginning with letters, then special characters and letters combinations. Methods depend upon recognition by touching each character that has to be memorized. Okay, braille text can be produced by hand or by machine. Typewriter like devices are printing machines and now being developed for this braille system. So Basically, some information is given about the braille system, non-optical and optical aids for visually impaired, and all and all. Okay. So let us read about Helen Keller. Maybe if you remember, in 6th or 7th or 5th standard, we, not in 7th, in 5th or 6th, we were having one chapter, okay, of Helen Keller in Hindi Vasant. So some visually impaired Indians have great achievements in their credit. Divakar, a child prodigy, has given amazing performances as a singer. Okay. Ravindra Jain, born completely visually impaired, obtained a Sangeet Prabhakar degree from Allahabad. He had shown his excellence as a, what is this? Lyricist, singer, lyricist, singer and music composer. Okay, so great child, very grateful. Lal Advani, himself visually impaired, established an association for special education and what? Rehabilitation. Rehabilitation. I don't know the word. I really don't know the pronunciation of this word. Even the meaning. Of disabled in India. Besides this, he represented India on braille problems in UNESCO. Okay. Helen Keller, an American author and lecturer, is perhaps the most well-known, inspiring visually challenged person. She lost her sight when she was only 18 months old, but because of her resolve and courage, she could complete her graduation from a university. She wrote a number of books including The Story of My Life, 1903. So this Helen Keller herself was also a visually impaired child since 18 months, when she was only 18 months. But due to her courage, she could complete her graduation from a university, and she wrote multiple books, a number of books including Story of Her Life and Story of My Life. Maybe it's a autobiography of her, and she wrote it in 1903. So hence guys, we are completely done with this chapter. If you like the explanation, then please don't forget to subscribe my channel. So hope you like this video. Kindly subscribe my channel guys, and I'll be coming with more such fun videos about science as well as math and all. So this is the bell icon. Kindly hit the bell icon as well. Okay guys, thank you so much and bye bye.